Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
What is going on, everyone? Ryan with Torsion Talk Podcast. Welcome to the show today. We've got a doozy. So before I jump in, I'm going to do a quick announcement. The first week of December, I believe 6th and 7th, we're going to be releasing a link for a sign up. We're having a mastermind meetup. It's limited. I first got to let our members get a chance to sign up and fill that up, and then mark annuity customers, and then we'll open it up to the public if we don't get enough signups. But I expect it to sell out. We're going to be going over a couple things. Number one, sales management. If you have salespeople, then you need to be the best version of a sales manager you can possibly be. What should you be asking? How should you be structuring the department? How to set goals, how to hire, how to hold them accountable. What should they be doing? We're going to be going over a lot of that stuff, as well as automation and a little bit of AI. Nothing crazy. We're not going to be just talking about random stuff. It's all going to be about things that you can do in your business, and we're going to be giving you some of the keys to that. That is going to be here in Atlanta, December, I think it's 6th and 7th. Let me just confirm that. December. Of course, my computer loves me right when I need it. Yeah, December 6th and 7th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. The reason why we chose those days is because smaller dealers have wanted to participate in our events in the past, but said it's really hard to get away during the week. So we're doing these little 2 or 3 day events, and we're going to do these more often. So instead of me doing these huge events that I've done in the past, like the last one in Puerto Rico, we're going to be doing a lot of smaller events, very affordable events, things that I think are going to be helpful to help you grow in this economy. All right. Lastly, I want to say thank you to all of my listeners, all of our followers for Torsion Talk Podcast. You guys have been amazing. We're continuing to grow. I get people hit me up, asking me questions, and we're watching the analytics. We're really excited about some of the stuff we're seeing. We're going to be at IDA Expo. I'm trying to decide if I want to do a live podcast or not. So we're going to have a booth for GDU and Mark Annuity. Hit me up and let me know if you think it would be a good idea for us to do a live podcast. We did it a long time ago. I think it was 2020 in Utah. We did a live podcast in our booth, and it was a hit. People loved it. But I want to hear from you. Do you think this would be helpful? Would you want to be on the show? Would you want to watch the show live? It's difficult for me because I'm ADD and there's a lot of surrounding back noise, but our mics are really good, so it doesn't take too much away from the show itself. But what do you think? Should we do a live show at the IDA Expo in Vegas? Hit me up and let me know. Today's podcast is going to be a little bit of a tough one, but don't stop listening. This is super important. We have to face the facts in order for us to create change. So I woke up to a bunch of articles on my phone. Amazon's just cut 14,000 corporate roles. Corporate roles. That's not ground people. That's the middle. UPS is down 48,000 jobs. And these cuts are coming right before the holidays for companies who usually have massive amounts of growth in Q4. U.S. employers announced 946,000 cuts from January to September. That's job cuts. the most since 2020. This is kind of crazy, but don't check out on me. It's not all bad. I'm going to help you. I'm going to walk you through my thought process, and then you tell me what you think. You can grow in a downshift by staying nimble, cutting noise, and focusing on smart commercial plays, in my opinion. So here we go. This is the layoff wave is a signal, but it's not doom and gloom. Okay. We've got to do a really good job of evaluating where we're at now, where our wins are, and where we're going. Okay. I know it feels like now's not a time to slow down, but when I say slow down, I want you to slow your mind down. I want you to be able to set aside, you know, 3, 4 hours to deep dive into your data. And let's figure out where we're spending money. I think the very first thing, and this is something you should probably do on a regular basis. I know I try, but I don't get it done every month, is evaluate your credit card statement. Evaluate your bank statement. This will be good because you're probably going to find things that you're paying for that you don't necessarily need or that you didn't even know you were still paying for. And if you haven't done this exercise in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever, like you definitely need to do it. And it doesn't take that long. Like you literally just go in, print it out, highlight the things that you don't really use anymore or whatever, and cut it. And if you feel like you're overpaying for a specific task or whatever, like call them and try to negotiate. We're experiencing increased cost on goods. We've got major layoffs, but GDP is still growing. I think we're going to have 2 more rate cuts, which should relieve some stress. When rate cuts go down, businesses are taking loans, they're building new buildings. We're having a slowdown right now on new construction. We already had a home shortage. I think this is going to create even greater home shortage until we get back to our the pace that we were going. So I want to talk about mindset for just a second. If you are trending down, like you're not doing as well as last year, um, I think that's fairly normal for a lot of businesses this year. Like I've been talking to a lot of companies. There are some exceptions. People are either sideways, a little down, or a little up. But it feels like it's taking more just to do the same. From this is the feedback I've got, and personally, it's the same in my business as well. I feel like it's taking more energy, more effort, just to do the same amount of revenue. We have at Aaron Overhead Doors, um, we went all like we went pretty big into radio this year, and I have to admit it probably wasn't my brightest or best decision I've ever made. Um, I really wanted to go into branding, and from all the things that I'd seen, I did a ton of research on radio. Maybe we chose the wrong radio station. I don't know, but it wasn't great. We had we did an endorsement. I think I mentioned it on here. We came out of the gate doing really well, and then it just kind of died off. So I think from that point of view, we have decided that um, we've pulled out of radio. It, and we just couldn't justify it because I know that you can't 100% do attribution through there, but like you got to have something. Like we got to have something. And in a time where you have a lot of uncertainty, um, I think what you don't know can hurt you worse than what you know. And so we needed to deep dive into it. And with radio, like I could hear the radio ads, I knew they were there. We were creating fresh copy every month, but like we weren't having an overwhelming amount of people that were searching our brand name like more. We didn't see a huge increase in brand name searches and analytics. And the ladies answering the phones had very few people say they heard about us on the radio. So that's about as good as I think that we could do at the time. And we went for like 8 months, 9 months, something like that.
Hey guys, I found something that changed my business and I want to share it with you. We've created packages that have included some of the best products in our industry to offer our service customers. The heart of that package is Stealth Hardware Kit. Stealth Hardware is the quietest hinges on the market. I challenge you to buy at least one of these, test it for yourself. Put it on your truck and design a quiet performance package for your customers willing to pay for a better, smoother running door. Buy your Stealth Hardware Kit at Service Spring, do a search for Quiet Hinge, and then buy that. You can buy a double or single door, 7 or 8 foot tall, and promise you it'll change your service forever.
Somer USA and Somer Group want to thank you for an incredible year and the trust you've put in them and their products. As you know, Somer places high value on relationships, education, customer service, innovation, and professionalism. And they are grateful to you for your part in the fostering and dissemination of these values. If there is any way Somer can support you in your journey, whether through their products, the values they hold to, or the knowledge Somer has gained through interaction with door dealers across the world, please reach out to the team at your convenience. They are here to serve you. Again, thank you from the entire Somer team. Check them out at somerusa.com. Tell them Ryan sent you.
So these are the types of things that I want you to evaluate. So what you need to do is you need efficiency in your business. You need clarity and you got to create a cadence. Organize your week. And then I would create a 90-day sprint plan. Like make some goals, create a scorecard, watch your cash on a more regular basis. So maybe instead of watching your cash on a monthly basis, maybe you're watching it on a weekly basis or even a daily basis, just to get an idea. And then you can offer things based on timing, right? So it's getting cold. So maybe you do a like a winter tune up and you use that as a promotion and you do some very inexpensive Facebook ads. Guys, a lot of people I have conversations with think that you have to spend thousands of dollars on a Facebook ad. You do not have to spend $1,000 on Facebook ads. I have had success with $10 on a Facebook ad. So you can come up with a game plan and create a post or something and then boost it and have $10 put into it and you can get business from that. You need to evaluate your staff. If your staff isn't performing at a really high level right now, then you have to make a change. You need to start looking for people that are going to perform at the level you expect. You need to keep composure and communicate with your team with positivity. You set the thermostat. And I would cut all non working spend. So kill all nice to haves. If you have a nice to have any type of waste in your finances, I would get rid of it. Automate scheduling, follow ups, estimates, follow ups, collections, anything that's you can do off of triggers, I think you should do. I would say you need to really pay attention to your marketing. And now's not the time to probably pull back from marketing. I think what we're doing at Aaron Overhead Doors and what I think a lot of people are doing right now is they're cutting any unnecessary spend and they're shifting money to marketing and sales people or sales in general or automation. And then I would say, like, you got to communicate with your customer base more often. Make sure you're sending out emails to your customer base. I'm shocked by how many people aren't doing this. This is very simple and it's almost free. It's like one of the cheapest forms of advertising, and you're advertising to a database of people who already know, like, and trust you. And then I think you got to get back to the basics, the blocking and tackling. Like, are we doing a great job with follow ups on quotes if we're not closing on site? Are we quoting on site? Are we quoting within 24 hours if we can't quote on site? I mean, like, just all the little things. Are we asking for reviews? Are we doing door hangers on 2 doors to the right, 2 doors to the left, and one across the street? Are we putting a sign in the yard? These are all things that compound and make it better. So track your leads, block and tackle. And if you're hiring, I think you need to be hiring on the sales side. Everyone needs to be a salesperson. Your entire company needs to be super sales focused. Everybody, even your operations. I mean, get them involved in follow up or whatever you have to. I would say you should probably be spending as few amount of dollars in fixed ops and operations as humanly possible right now, and investing as much as you can in sales and marketing. There's fewer jobs out there. Joseph Roberts told me, from E Squared, 71% of homeowners are postponing home projects. So that gives us 29% of homeowners divided by how many people do you have in your market? How many garage door companies do you have in your market? This is why I really feel like commercial is going to be the play over the next year or two, especially. I'm very grateful that commercials something that we do very well. And we're actually looking for commercial salespeople at the moment. And we feel like that's our approach. Like, we're trying to grow our commercial department. I feel like any small losses that we have in our residential department can be made up by our commercial. We've definitely seen a pullback. I will say something that I wanted to bring up. My son and I started a sports card business called Southern City Cards, and Upper Deck, the CEO of Upper Deck, just released this notice, and I wanted to read it to you guys because this is something really interesting and something that I'm seeing happen. And what's interesting is, well, let me just read this real quick. Jason Mashara is the president of Upper Deck Company, which is a sports card company. He said everything speculative is up right now. The stock market, Bitcoin, trading cards, and it's pricing some collectors out. Here's what the data shows. 50% of consumer spending in the US is coming from 10% of the population. Rich people are carrying the market, not just in cards, but across every category. Concert tickets, $1,000 for nosebleeds. Luxury goods selling faster than ever. High-end collectibles moving at record prices. When boxes cost $1,000 or more, and boxes of cards, by the way, you're not buying for fun anymore. You're speculating. You're betting that what you buy today will be worth significantly more tomorrow. And that works until it doesn't. Sports cards have always had speculation built in. You collect a rookie hoping that they become a Hall of Famer. But what's happening now is different in scale. And when markets become this speculative, they become fragile. I'm not saying this guy is falling. I'm saying we need to be honest about what's happening. This isn't sustainable growth driven by collectors who love the hobby. This is wealth concentration driving prices, and most people can't participate in. And if the money suddenly moves elsewhere to bet on something else, we all will feel it. Okay, so this is an interesting take because Upper Deck's like a manufacturer of sports cards. And we're seeing this shift of I'm seeing a shift because I own different businesses and I'm in all these different things and I'm talking to people in all these different industries. One thing that I'm seeing a lot right now is manufacturers trying to cut out the middlemen, like trying to go direct to consumer to get better margins. And I think this is a huge mistake for some and probably a good thing for others. Tops, which is a sports card manufacturer, the biggest in the world, they have acquired other sports card businesses and they are dominating the market. And they've gone out and they've gotten licenses with all the major brands, NFL, NBA, baseball, and now these other brands can't keep up. And Tops has cut out the middleman. They're no longer dealing to distributors. I think distributors, for the most part, are in trouble in a lot of ways, possibly even in the garage door industry. I think the idea of having a middleman is okay, but I just think it's really weird that like in a market like Atlanta, you have 6 different distributors all having locations within, 15, 20 minutes of each other. And this presents a major challenge. Number one, all of these distributors are willing to sell to anyone. And you have very uneducated people getting into the garage door industry and coming in with a low cost provider mindset. And they drive prices down in consumers' minds. And so this is the opposite of like what Tommy Mello's doing when he enters a market. He raises the expectation, right? But if you have a truck and it looks like crap and you get out of your car and you're not branded and you don't have written professional quotes, you don't have, you're just not clean cut, you can't speak clearly. Um, you got your sunglasses on, you got grease to your elbows, like you're not going to probably be able to compete. And I think you're going to see some private equity probably growing in your market already. But what I think you're also going to see is you're going to see some consolidation probably of these middlemen, these distributors. I think they've got to be hurting. Like the manufacturers are probably hurting a little bit, seeing a little pullback in business. I think that the distributors are going to hurt even worse. I think you're going to have some consolidation there over the next 2 years, and I'm really hoping that things turn around. I think the interest rates are a good sign of that. Lower interest rates should stimulate the economy as long as we don't create more inflation. I think we're good. So my message to you is this: no matter how hard it may be or how hard it may feel right now for you, stay calm. In my opinion, I think you should be praying for clarity and go into your office every day with a positive attitude, knowing that you got to chip away at it. And if you have a bad attitude or you're angry or frustrated when you get into work every day, it's going to impact your people. It's going to impact them in a negative way. And right now, you need a positive culture. And your positive culture will be one of the things that helps pull you out of this. So I know it's not all doom and gloom. So if you're crushing it right now, you can ignore this whole podcast, which is probably too late. But what I'll tell you is I really genuinely feel like everyone's feeling a little bit of this. And so thank you for following along. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, hit me up on Facebook. I'll do my best to respond. I get a lot of messages, so sometimes some slip through and I apologize, or I'll read them and maybe it requires like a long response and I can't respond at that time, but I will try my best to get back to you. If I don't, then just hit me back again. I hope you're doing well. Be blessed, be safe, and have fun.